Hey everybody, this week we're going to take a look at drawing atoms, elements, and compounds. And so whenever we draw atoms, elements, and compounds, there are three different ways that we will do that, and all three will be in these notes. Please make sure that you take these notes down. If it's on the screen, you need to write it down. The example that we're going to use for the notes is ammonia, or NH3. NH3 ammonia has 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogens, as you can see there from its chemical formula. You may recognize ammonia as being something that's used in Windex. That is that kind of that smell that you smell when you spray the Windex. It has a little bit of odor to it. That is the ammonia, and you can see there under the ingredients list that ammonium hydroxide is included in the ingredients list for Windex. So let's get to drawing here our three different styles that we can draw of NH3. And so the first style that you're most familiar with that we've already used, it actually has a name. It's called the Lewis dot structure. And so whenever we do the Lewis dot structure, you're going to use a single line to show the sharing of 1 electron or a double line to show if there are 2, and so on. And so let's go ahead and do 2 examples here. We've got NH3 and we've got O2. So you are used to setting it up like this. Nitrogen has 5 valence electrons, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And then I have H3. Here's 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 3 hydrogen, and hydrogen each has 1 valence electron. Whenever they bond, I make this straight line right here to show the bonding, and that is how we get this part right here, the single line when sharing 1 electron. And this is the picture right here that you would have to show Lewis dot for NH3. Now if we take a look at O2, whenever we have oxygen and oxygen, each of them have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But to get up to 8, they would share 2, and so that's how you get the double line. So this is an example of when they share 2 electrons, it would be a double line, right? And so this here would be our example for oxygen, how you would draw oxygen as a Lewis dot. The next style that we want to take a look at is what's called the ball and stick, or the Mollymods. These are Mollymods. We will be using Mollymods this week in class. And so you can see why it's called a ball and a stick, because there's one of each. And so if we take a look at this one right here for nitrogen, you can see that there are 1, 2, 3 holes because it has it needs to bond and get 3 more electrons to get up to 8. And here's hydrogen. Here's hydrogen, which has 1 hole because hydrogen will be sharing 1 electron. All right, and then I also have my example here for oxygen. You can see it has the 2 holes in it because it's going to share the 2 electrons. So if I was to actually make these, I would take my nitrogen and I have a ball and a stick. And I'll put this together real quick. And so here, I have made NH3, you see the blue for nitrogen and the 3 hydrogens. And if we go back to the previous screen, where right here, where we had NH3, it looks identical to that screen. It's showing the 1 line connecting them. Right? Now I'll make oxygen real quick. And so remember, on the previous screen, we said the oxygen has 2 bonds, or it uses a double line. So that's why when I have my oxygen here, I need 2 lines, which would connect. And you can see that just like the ball and stick, I've made that, or just like the Lewis dot, I've made it ball and stick structure with the Mollymods. And so you need to use colors that match the Mollymod colors, and we have an answer key for you in class that tells you what color everything is. And so if I was to draw these out real quick, the ball and stick would need to be identical. So here was my nitrogen. And I had, I'm just going to outline here for white, but I had 1, 2, 3. And so this is how I would draw NH3. And for my oxygen, it would be like this. And so there I am showing the drawings, ball and stick figure, same color, that go with the drawing. All right, last one is the molecular structure. And whenever we do molecular structure, there are 3 different ways you can draw bonds. This first bond right here, the bond is in the plane of the viewer. That's a straight line. We have a little triangular shape when the bond is going towards the viewer, and we have these little hashtag or little hash marks whenever it's going away from the viewer. So again, if we're going to use our NH3 here as an example, so here's NH3, and so if I was to hold this in front of me, notice how one of them is coming directly at you, one of them is in the plane, and one is going away from you, right? So to show that, I would draw, here's my blue, and I've got three. I've got 1, 2, 3, but one of them is in my plane, so that's the line. One of them is coming at me towards the viewer, so I make that shape, and one of them is kind of going away from me, so I do that. And so that is how we would show the molecular drawing to go with NH3 or ammonia. All right. Okay, guys, that is your notes from today. Please make sure you take a picture and post that in Classroom.